My name is Jayla Pence, and I'm a junior here at STEAM Academy in Lexington, Kentucky. So I guess I've liked school ever since I started kindergarten. I actually remember my first day. It's not that exciting, but I cried on my first day, and so my parents had to drag me into class. But I remember first thing that we did was color a fish. It cheered me up. And so, but ever since then, I've had a huge passion for school. My attendance has always been high. Third grade, I did have to miss 2 weeks because I got my tonsils removed. And so, but other than that, I've had a huge passion for school. I've been involved in a lot of activities. So, from academic team, I've been in beta club, TSA, which I was actually able to bring here to STEAM. And
What
so
is TSA?
It stands for Technology Student Association. It's a national-wide club. Not all schools have it, but it's there's middle school and high school. Middle school has about 30 different competitions, and so does high school. They range for different things like CAD design, building a bridge, dragster design, building your own children's story. And they have different events and different rules that you have to follow. And so when I first came to STEAM didn't have it, and I was involved in my middle school, which was Lexington Traditional Magnet School, which is right down the street from here. And so this is our third year, and each year we've increased in members. So right now we have about, I think, 20 members or so. I haven't got to meet everyone, but because of that, I've become the president for the third year as well. So that's one thing I like. I want to be a teacher, I guess. I really do. It's something I'm passionate about and something that I just really want to do. Reason, I guess, is because being here at STEAM and all the schools I've gone to, I've developed a really big connection with all my teachers, and I kind of want to do that for other students, especially where education's kind of going downhill just a little bit. I want to be that person where students can come and talk to and have that connection and learn just as much as I was able to.
Have you had a teacher that you feel really did that for you, maybe in school, that you just felt really close to that teacher?
Let's see. I got a couple.
This is going to be a terrible thing to say.
What?
Can I get you to sort of start that discussion over again?
Mm-hmm.
Just because
about which one?
it wasn't, I had to up the sound. You're talking quietly and there's lots of noise around here. So,
okay, so where do you want to start?
Start with your name again. I can use
Okay.
some of what's there, but then sort of go,
All right.
this is
I
terrible
love
to
the thing
say,
about
but
starting kindergarten, though, about remembering. So it's kind of like, what's the first thing you remember about learning? Okay.
I just needed to sort of up the volume
Okay.
and make sure. I'm hoping I have it set now so the microphone won't pick up what is coming in.
I kept hearing that and going,
Right.
oh my gosh, can you do this a little bit again?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so
thanks.
I can. Sorry, I should have told you that. I have a really low voice.
Right,
Can you
that's
make fun of
fine.
me?
I got you
Yeah.
totally fine now.
Okay.
All right. So just do your.
Okay. My name is Jayla Pence. I go to STEAM Academy in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm a junior. So start off with my first day of kindergarten. I remember not wanting to go to school, and so my parents had to drag me there. And the thing that cheered me up was coloring a fish. And so after that day, I felt I had a huge passion for school. Loved going. I hate missing school. Everything. I'm actually about to have to miss a day to go to my brother's graduation in North Carolina, and I'm really sad about it. But I love being involved. I've been in several clubs: beta club, academic team, TSA, which stands for Technology Student Association. STEAM, when I first came here, it actually didn't have one, so I created the club and brought it to life, and every year it's increased in members. So this year we have about 20 members, and by bringing the competition or the club here, I've been the president for 3 consecutive years now. I was also the president for my club in LTMS, just Lexington Traditional Magnet School, which is down the street. I was there for my 8th grade year. I've been in the club for six years, so ever since my 6th grade year. And yeah, it's also one of the reasons I'm passionate about being a teacher, and also the connection that I've gotten with my other teachers, not only from STEAM but from elementary school to the point I'm at now. Like, I've had a really strong bond with all my teachers, and it's just something I want to like continue going. So, yeah.
And you want to be a teacher?
Yes,
Why do you want to be a teacher, Jalen?
Because I want to help students as much as like teachers have helped me. Like, I want to make sure like be that lending hand that students need like when they're down, or like I know that not everyone learns a certain way, and so for me, I learned by doing projects. Hands-on person. I can't sit there and take notes. I need to like be explained and actually like try it myself, or like build a bridge using certain equations, stuff like that. And so I know like a lot of my friends, like some of them can take notes. Like they're really good at quizzes. Terrible at quizzes. I can't take a test. Bad at it. And so I just like want to be that teacher who understands how each student learns and like get them to the point where they need to be.
You're actually providing some help to teachers right now. Talk about that a little bit. What are you doing to help people here?
Okay, so one thing is I'm an internship for STEAM Academy. So I help Ashley Rosen, which is the tech, she's science teacher for freshmen, and she also is the tech, like go-to tech person. And so by being here, I'm able to help her with like fix any Chromebooks that she needs. So we'll like collect all the data of like how many kids have broken Chromebooks, and we'll like collect them all and like give them brand new ones that have been fixed. And then we'll send those off, and like we have databases that keep track of each Chromebook and where it belongs, stuff like that. And then we'll send it off to districts if it needs to. And then not only do I help her.
Teachers, pardon the interruption. I need for Jacob Mims and Orion Wright to report to the office. Jacob Mims and Orion Wright, please report to the office.
We'll cut it out.
We'll cut that.
Don't worry about it. I was good at editing. So you were talking about, that one of the things you do is to work with technology. Do you find that you're attracted to that kind of work?
Yeah, I'm attracted to just about anything, but yes, something technology, like it's been like being an engineering teacher, it's been on my mind because of not only being like working with her, but being involved in TSA, which is a huge TSA club or technology club. So
talk to me a little bit about, you said that you're a real hands-on person. How does that feel different here than what you think that may be true if you had been in just a regular high school?
So
what brought you here?
So to start off, my brother graduated here, so he was one of the first classes to go all 4 years through STEAM. And so when he was going here, I kind of wanted to go just because he was here, and I didn't think I would fit in as well as regular high school, because I'm an oddball. Like, I like school. Most people don't like school, stuff like that. I'm a hands-on person, like projects. And so while he was here, he was like telling me about all the projects that he got to do, like go to the community that in like one of his history classes, they got to write a book and go read it to one of the elementary schools down the street. So I like found that really fascinating, something I wouldn't do. Now my younger brother, he's a sophomore at Bryan Station High School, and so a lot of things that they do is just more like notes taking, like quizzes, and they don't have homework. And so like for me, I learned by doing homework, like it keeps track of my thoughts and stuff like that, like keeps me up to speed. And so with STEAM, I was like the projects, like that's something I wanted to do, is all the projects. My freshman year, we actually did a India water quality project. And so what we did was we went around to all the local creeks. So there was one down, can't remember where it is, Oak Ridge, something like that. We went to that creek and we got water samples. Then we came back and we were working with UK's college, like scientific research, and we tested the water to see if it was healthy, stuff like that. And then we made these posters, and it just like displayed all of our findings and stuff like that. And then we were able to communicate with like how our water compares to like India's water, stuff like that. So it was really fascinating.
Is there a project that you've done that you felt like that you got to pick a project that you wanted to do that really got you excited about what you wanted to study?
Okay, so my English 102 class, we did this thing called a 20% project. So we would spend, I think it was like one day, once a week, and over any topic that we wanted to do, and we just worked on that project. And so we came up with like a question, stuff like that. And so my mom came out to me to be bisexual my 7th grade year. And so I know, like, with a lot of, like, the things that have been going on in the community, like, that was something that just impacted me, and how, like, everyone's trying to get equal rights. So I wanted to focus my project on that, and, like, how, like, it's okay to be accepted, and especially, like, at STEAM, I know there's, like, a high rate of, like, students who are, like, coming out, like, they feel comfortable with here for being who they are. And so I wanted to focus on that. And so I did, like, different research method and projects over, like, different stories. I wrote my own, like, brief little children's story over, like, someone coming out and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it impacted my life, and I know it made my mom happy, so that was great. So.
Can I just ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
How comfortable would she be if what you just said about her coming out as bisexual ended up in this video? Do you think she'd be okay with that or not okay?
I think she would be okay with it.
Okay.
Because I used her as my project, and she was okay with it. So she seemed really proud, and she was, like, happy because I know at first she didn't feel like she was accepted. And so I think that knowing that I'm, like, actually talking about her and, like, okay with her being who she is, she feels more accepted by it.
What makes this school special?
I say the connection is student to teacher connection, and also the student to student connection. I know my freshman year, everyone here was friends. Like, all the seniors would talk to the freshmen, and all the freshmen talked to seniors. So there was, like, a lot of mixed friend groups. It wasn't just, like, seniors hung out with seniors, juniors hung out with juniors. Like, everyone had, like, different amount of people. And then also the teachers. Like, teachers are really passionate about, like, making sure the students are on top of their game. So they're, like, if you needed extra time to study or whatever it was, the teachers were there to give you that lending hand.
Are you starting to think about what you want to do after you leave STEAM? Is that on your mind yet?
A little. I know I want to go to college, for sure. Where? I'm not for sure. I kind of want to get out of Kentucky. Been here my whole life, and so I kind of want to go, like, see the different educational fields in, like, different states, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so, I also play softball, Bryan Station High School. So, I've been playing softball my entire life. Started with t-ball, worked my way up. It's on and off, and so I picked it back up last year for that was my first year playing, and I was actually nominated to be the team captain of the JV team. And so after that, it just, like, really struck me, and so we started conditioning this week, and today I actually have 6 hours worth of softball to go to. So yeah, but other than that, like, I just want to do, like, the teacher and the softball or college. Yeah.
I love that.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, this is Mr. Baseball here. Talk a little bit about a time where you've been challenged in school, where things haven't gone so well, and could be something that a class, it could be a project, it could be just a mismatch with the work that you were being asked to do. Have you had that ever happen where you felt like you were being challenged?
Yes, in English, I'm, like, a really strong writer. Punctuation is my weakness, and, like, putting my thoughts on paper, I just can't do it. So I remember my 4th grade year, we had taken a quiz, and it was, like, over, like, basic grammar mechanics. We were given an article, how to read through it, stuff like that, and I got a C. It broke my heart. I'm a straight A student. Ever since I started getting grades, straight A's. I never had lower than that. You never catch me lower than that. And so when I got the C, I, like, brought it home, and I was, like, cried. I cried to my dad. I was like, I want to fix it. So we went into school the next day, and we talked to my teacher, like, hey, I don't think I did my best that I could do on this. And I was like, is there any way, like, give me extra, like, study, like, anything so I could get my grade on? And so she helped me through it, and, like, talked me through it, and, like, made me understand, like, where I messed up and stuff like that. So I retook it and got a better grade. But, like, still till this day, still struggle with English. And so right now I'm in a English 101 class for BCTC. And so our first essay was a strong response short essay. And so it had to be a minimum of 1,000 words. And so around 4 pages or so. My essay turned out to be 7 pages and is about 2,500 words. And so what we had to do was choose a topic where we were given 5 articles, and we had to choose one of those articles and just argue against it or with it. And then we had to do extended research based on that topic. And so the topic I chose was vaccination over free will. And so the article, or the author, was writing about how we should persuade people into taking vaccinations but not force them. And so I researched the pros and cons of like still persuading someone, and used my personal experience and a friend of mine's, their experience of like taking vaccinations or even being persuaded. So yeah.
So it sounds like that your experience in 4th grade, that today actually, if you like something that you're going to work on with writing, you really get a lot going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with your mom's project.
Yeah.
Tell us-
Punctuation is overrated.
Would you agree?
Yeah, who uses it in text messages? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
my mom sends me LOL all the time.
You can start reading James Joyce and then you can throw, or John Dos Passos.
What about, if you think about what motivates you as a learner, is there something outside of school, not softball that's kind of attached to school,
Mhm.
just something you love to do at home as a learner, just on your own?
Let's see.
Do you make stuff? Do you, is it about friendships, you know?
I think my bond with my dad, probably. I have a really strong bond with my dad out of all of my siblings. And so I know my brother, he didn't have he never had like the best grades. And my bad. And I know my dad never had like the best opportunities growing up. And so he came from like a poorer family, and so like he's giving his all to support me and my siblings. And so I just kind of felt like the need of giving my all to like show him that what he's doing is actually paying off. So.
All right. Do you ever, you've talked a lot about technology and some science kinds of things and some of the projects you've done. What about the arts and STEAM? How does that go in your life?
Arts. Okay, so our freshman year, we actually painted the lockers. And so all the sophomores and juniors had an internship, or sophomores, juniors, and seniors had an internship that they could go to, or the sophomores, if they didn't have an internship, they would go do college visits. But there's nothing for the freshmen to do, and so I guess they kind of wanted to incorporate the art aspect a little more in STEAM, and wanted to get rid of the shady blue lockers. And so they gave us the job of certain hallways had certain like criteria, like there was a math hallway, this is what each locker needed on it. And so me and my friends, like we went into groups, created a design on a PowerPoint, projected it on the lockers, and we traced it and then we painted it. And so there was that. We read Fahrenheit 451 in my English 3 class last semester. And so with that, we could do any project that we wanted. It could be art, it could be media, it could be a Lego video. He was a huge anime, like Lego person, and so anything that we wanted to do. So I decided that what I wanted to do was create like a collage of like what I learned from Fahrenheit 451, and so I like had different like aspects. Like it was like a puzzle piece, and like everything that we learned not only from the book, from like the assignments that went with the book, and so I like pieced them together, and like each thing had like a different thing. So like we've talked about the song, Neil Diamond's America song, and so I like drew like an example of like if that song was brought into art, like what it would look like.
Yeah. What did you like about Fahrenheit 451?
I think I like the story, that kind of like it was like interesting. Like I'm not a huge reader either. And so it was actually something that like I wanted to read, and like it got me to read, and I finished the book before like the entire class finished it, so it's nice.
Do you listen to books? Or
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
That was like, that's how we started off the book, was we listened as a class, and then we kind of just like broke off into our own little categories. And
Is there a book that you really love that you've read?
my 6th grade year, I read, can't remember the name of it. It was about a gorilla. Let's see. The One and Only Ivan. That's what it was.
Yeah, what did you love about the one and only Ivan?
I like the storyline. It was really like, it was about a girl who went to rescue the gorilla out of, because he was the only one there, and she kind of was like his little friend, and like she taught him how to draw and stuff like that. And I was just like, that's like really nice and sweet, and I was like, just fell in love with the character and how like she went to help him and be his friend, and it was just like her dad who was there like for amusement.
It sounds like your family, that you were very closely connected as a family, and you have several brothers.
I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Yeah, yeah. What kinds of things does your family like to do together that you find fun and kind of maybe is learning, but it's also fun to be together doing?
We like to go to the gym. Like, we work out, we compete a lot. I compete with my younger brother. We get to see, like, who lifts more, who benches it, like, deadlifts, stuff like that. And then, like, it turns into a really, like, big competition. And then with my sister, she plays softball as well, so, like, we compete in that. And then overall, it's just, like, being able to spend time with each other. Like, whether it's going to the store or to practice or whatever. Like, just, like, being around each other, joking around with each other. Like, yesterday, we were just sitting there and we talked about like everything that went good in our day. Like, I received the highest score on my history exam out of all 5 classes. And so like I talked about that. My dad talked about how my older brother just passed both of his classes in North Carolina for the college that he goes to. And then my younger brother, he passed a test and he did something else. He benched more than me, so he was proud of that. And my younger sister, she was able to get her rhythm down for orchestra. And then my dad he had really good news because like we were his kids. So he was like, that's really good news because that's something I could show on my end and stuff like that. So like just like spending time, like hearing how like my siblings like are achieving like just as much as I am.
Hang on. We'll let you go in just a little bit. But one of the things, what position do you play in softball?
I play outfield and second base.
Okay. So, is there anything in softball skill-wise that has been a challenge for you to learn, or what are you working on to get better in softball?
I cannot open up to catch a pop-up. It's something that I've like, other than that, like I'm a good team sport and stuff like that, but it's just like the mechanics, like my brain doesn't fundamentally like understand the part of opening up, like it wants to do this rather than like doing this, so.
How are you working on that?
Practicing a lot and making sure like instead of like backing up and turning my back and stuff like that, I use my hips more.
When you're out playing softball, what kinds of things do you think about?
I think about how if I don't do something, how it's going to affect my team, or like if I see like one of my players down, how can I make sure that they like stay positive to help the team.
What do you think?
It's great.
Jayla,
Thank you.
Great stories. I love you got to color a fish on the first day
Really?
of school, and you were happy. And you know, that thing about hands-on, we don't hear that from girls very often.
So it's good.
Why do you think that do you see more kids here that are hands-on kind of learners? Yeah.
There's a
When
lot
did you
of-
discover that about yourself?
I think probably end of elementary school, most definitely the start of middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know at like elementary school they're just trying to like teach you the basics, like basic math, basic reading, stuff like that. And then like in middle school, like they start applying the projects to it, and so it's like, wow, projects are fun. Like I want to do this. Like, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
This
very
is
much.
great.